and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. For those of you who do not know me, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by today. Today I'm going to be going through some more of what I have in my makeup collection. I'm going to be talking about highlighters, face powders, both pressed and loose, anything I have to contour or bronze my face, and blushes today. So we're gonna go through each kind of category and talk about what I have, what I like about it, if I'm planning on decluttering any of this stuff, those types of things, and just to kind of show you what I have in my collection. If you guys would like to see any of this stuff, leave a comment down below and I can happily use it in a tutorial or on my face in some way. Just let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and start with highlighters. I have 4 of the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighters. I'll show you each of these separately. I have Blossom Glow, which looks like this. It's a beautiful pinky highlighter. I love this one a lot. I have Precious Petals, which this is the first one that I ever picked up. Then I have Diamond Lily, which this one I tend to use as an inner corner highlight. This on me I would not use as a face highlight. I like to use it on my eyes, inner corner, brow bone, things like that. This was also kind of a on the whim type of a purchase. It wasn't something I was planning on purchasing, but you know, you walk down an aisle and you see it and you have to have it in that moment, which we're trying to stop this year. Then I have Golden Flower Crown, which I have not even used. Not at all. I think I swatched it once. It is a beautiful shade and I probably will use it, but I do have some other golden highlights that I do use. Then we have my one and only Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Prosecco Pop. I got this in a BoxyCharm and I absolutely love this. These two shades are very, very similar and I've thought about doing kind of like a comparison video. So if you guys would like to see that, leave that down below in the comments so that I know if that is something you would like to see. I do like this highlight. I just don't think it's as blinding as everyone says. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just this specific one. Would I purchase more Becca highlighters? Maybe in the future. Right now I'm not looking for any more highlighters because I feel like I have a lot. Then I have this baked highlighter from AOA Studio, if I can get it open. This is one of their Wonder highlighters and this is the shade Bon Bon. I really like this one. It is kind of a goldy highlighter. I'll swatch this one for you. I don't know if you guys can see, but that is what it looks like. And it's just kind of a light gold that looks really good on my skin tone and I think it would look good on even lighter skin tones. Then we have my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. As you guys know, I hit pan on this sucker and it's one that I debate getting out of my collection all the time. I'm still unsure about that, but it is a beautiful highlight. It's just a weird consistency. It works better if I use my fingers. Sometimes I'll use a brush with it. It's just one of those highlighters that, yeah, I bought it because it's weird. Then we have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit. I love this glow kit, you guys. I love the shades in it. It's one that I sometimes forget I have, but once I remember, I love using it for my inner corner. I will use it to highlight my skin. I really love the shade Helia in my inner corner. Luna is beautiful, and then this Spectra kind of purpley shade is beautiful. I like to use the shade Eclipse and Lyra actually on my actual skin. The other shades are more inner corner kind of highlight shades for me. Then we're going to get into my final 2 highlighting palettes. These are some of my absolute favorites and ones that I highly recommend checking out if you have not already. I have the BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight Palette and I know you guys have seen this many times on my channel. I've hit pan in 2 of the highlighting shades. I love this palette, you guys. This is one I absolutely love. Most of the shades do work on my skin tone. Some can be a little dark, but if I go in lightly, they work really well. But I absolutely love them even on the lid of my eye, inner corner, brow bone highlight. They're beautiful shades and they are blinding. And when I say blinding, I mean blinding. You can really build these up and glow for the gods if you want to. Highly, highly recommend. Then we have the Blacklight Highlight Palette. I love this one too. I will wear some of these on my skin tone. Usually I stick with like Illusion, On Point, Strobe, sometimes Laser, but I really like these for inner corner. I like these as like transformer shades for my eyes. This is just a beautiful, beautiful palette, and I really find these shades very unique and very different from my ABH Glow Kit, and that is why I like this palette and highly recommend, I'm not even kidding, highly recommend both of these. Both amazing highlighting palettes. Now we're going to get into my pressed and loose powders. I have quite a bit of these in my collection. Which kind of shocked me because I didn't realize how many I had until I went through, and this to me is a lot, and I have a lot that I need to use up. The first one here is the Wet n Wild pressed powder. This is in Warm Light. This is what it looks like. It does have hard pan on it, and I don't know what really happened with this one. This to me is kind of a sheer wash of powder. It's not something that I would use if I was trying to set concealer or anything like that. I definitely would not use this powder for that. I'm not the biggest fan of this powder. It's an okay powder. It's nothing incredible in my opinion, but that's kind of how I feel about a lot of certain Wet n Wild kind of powders. Then I have this Makeup Forever powder that I actually got in a Sephora play when I was doing that, and I have not used this yet. This is their Ultra HD powder, and I do want to try this out. I'm just worried that it's going to have flashback, and I guess I won't know until I actually try it. But if any of you guys know if this powder has flashback, let me know. Then I have this one. This is the Becca Hydra Mist and Set. I got this when Raven sent me the Pat McGrath lipsticks that she sent me. This is really weird. I put this on my skin. It is so weird to have a powder that feels wet, but I do kind of want to play with this one more and test this one out. Then I have this powder, which is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder, and this one I know for a fact has flashback, and this one might be actually one that I pass along or just get out of my collection. It's been in my collection for quite some time. In that same kind of vein is this e.l.f. Translucent Sheer Powder. It also has flashback. 100% has flashback. And the only thing is like I could use these both off of camera and nobody would know that the powders I'm wearing have flashback unless they were doing flash photography. The only reason that I say that is because I'm a YouTuber. These aren't, I wouldn't say these are bad powders. They're pretty decent. The e.l.f. one is my favorite of the two. If I'm going to be honest, I might just kind of use these here and there and see if I can use them up. We'll see what I decide. Then I have one of my favorite powders, and this one's brand new. I've had this sitting brand new for a while because I decided to buy a backup when I had another one. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder in Creamy Natural. I love this powder, you guys. I really do. It's one of my favorites, and I need to use it a lot more. I mean, this one's brand new. The other one, I purchased this one before I used the other one up because I was like, oh, I'm totally going to use it. And then I started getting into more loose powders. It's an interesting thing. Then we have the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder. When they should say sheer, they mean sheer. This is very sheer powder. It does not feel like it lasts long on my skin. It is just very strange. I feel like it disappears almost. I just don't like it, and I have this in Fair. I probably will try to use this up more. I do find that it's not bad if I'm setting my under eyes. It doesn't make them look cakey or crepey or anything weird like that, but I just don't feel like it actually sets my foundation, and that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Then I have this one, which I think I've used like 4 times on my channel, and this is the Catrice All Matte Plus Lasts Up to 12 Hours Bull Shine Control Powder. This is a mattifying powder for sure. It says matte, 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 and I have it in 010 Transparent. This is an okay kind of powder. It's kind of in the same vein as these two powders, the Wet n Wild one and the ColourPop, where it's just kind of a sheer powder. and not one that I am the biggest fan of. I do need to use it more. Maybe I will find a different way to use it and it will really work. We will see. Then I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I like this powder a lot. I really do. For a pressed powder, it is really good. As you guys can see, I've hit pan on it. It was in my project pan for a little bit. The only thing is I don't like the packaging. I hate this. Just make it a one thing type of a thing and not that. Would I repurchase this powder if I did use it up? Yes, it is a good, decent powder, but I like the loose powder a lot more. I love this loose powder. I think it is so, so good. I have used quite a bit of it. This was actually sent to me by my friend Amanda Gard. This is in Fair Light, and I've used it off and on since she sent it to me, and this is one that I would repurchase over getting the pressed powder any day. Then I have another e.l.f. powder. This is kind of that same stupid packaging where you can keep the powder puff. This is the Perfect Face HD powder. I like this powder a lot. I like to use it to set my under eyes, and that's about it. I've hit pan on this one. This is one that I definitely need to use more on my channel. It's just kind of been sitting there ever since I got some other powders. Then we have the Coty Airspun. I like this powder to set. I hate the smell of it. Cannot stand the smell of it. It definitely smells like old lady, but this is a good setting powder, especially if you're not somebody who can go through and afford like the higher end ones. This is definitely good. It has lasted me quite a while. You do not need a lot to set your face, and I really do like that. Then we have the one that I am kind of testing out now. This is the Pretty Vulgar The Powder Room Matte About It Translucent Setting Powder. I like this so far. So far using it, I think I've used it about 4 or 5 times. I want to use it a little bit more before I get my kind of thoughts. I do find though, however, that this powder does not work with all of my foundations. And when I go to review it, I'll get more into that. It works fine as setting my under eyes and anywhere I place concealer, but it does weird things around my laugh lines and my nose and things like that. I want to love this powder. I'm just going to let you know that because I want to love most things from Pretty Vulgar, but this is just kind of an okay type of a thing. Now we're going to get into my bronzers, my contour. I kind of keep those in the same type of thing. I can't open this one because I have broken it. It is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I bought this when everyone was hyping this product up. I would not say it is my favorite bronzer. I don't really bronze anymore, and I think that's kind of the issue. Can you guys hear that? Like, I need to repress this thing. It is broken. Broken, broken, broken. It's a decent bronzer. Would I purchase it again? Actually, I would not. There is no way I would repurchase that product because it keeps breaking, and that drives me crazy. Then we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. I actually really like this. I actually use this if I'm going to bronze. I don't use it to contour because it's a little bit warmer, but I do really like it. Raven sent this to me, which was so nice of her. I just need to use it more. I like it better than the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer to actually go in and bronze my face. Then what I'm using now to contour, I have 2 different things that I use. 2 different things. I don't know why I keep doing this in videos. 2 different things that I use to contour if I'm going to contour. I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in light medium, and I tend to use the shade Fawn. I am getting more into using these powders right here to kind of set things lately. And then I sometimes will mix Fawn and this shade right here, which I can't remember. This one is Havana. I'll sometimes mix those together and use them to contour, but I do really like this a lot. I'm actually surprised because I'm not somebody who's big into contouring at the moment. The other thing I use occasionally is this Tarte Clay Play, and this was sent to me by my friend Raven. I will use the shade here in the center, Desert, to occasionally contour. I think Terracotta works nicely to kind of use as a bronzer if I'm feeling up to it. But again, that is not something that I typically do with every makeup look. In fact, I'm wearing less and less foundation as we go, and I think it's just because it is so dry in Arizona when it is cold, but you know. The very last category I'm going to go through are my blushes. I love blush, you guys. I want more blushes, but I don't need more blushes. So the first one I'm going to bring up is an eyeshadow palette, but it is also a blush palette. This is the Blush Neutrals palette, 26 eyeshadow and blush palette by BH Cosmetics. I really like the blushes in here, you guys. I need to use them much more than I do. These are beautiful blushes. I'm so sad that I missed out on the BH Cosmetics blush palettes because I think I would have totally bought one of their blush palettes, but at the time I was more eyeshadow heavy, and now I'm kind of wanting some more blushes and things in my collection, which after you see how many blushes I have, you're gonna go, Danielle, you do not need that many blushes. I mean, there are 5 blushes in here right now that I need to use more. Then I have this one. This is the Tarte Party Blush, the Amazonian clay that we got for our birthday gift at Sephora, if you guys did pick this one. I like this blush. That's why it's still in my collection. I use it occasionally. I need to use it more. Then I have the Laura Geller. This is the Baked Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. I like this, but you have to be very careful when you apply this because holy pigment and holy shimmer. If you want a really shimmery blush, this is beautiful. If you want a super pigmented blush, this is the blush for you. It is a very beautiful blush. Then I have my Pretty Vulgar Make Them Blush in Prim Vixen. You guys, I love this blush. I want some more wild and crazy blushes. I want some blushes from NARS. There are so many things that I want right now, and being on a low buy has been a struggle. Oh my gosh. But I do absolutely love this blush and plan to use it more. I am really loving Pretty Vulgar products, if you guys cannot tell. Then we have the blush that I've been using for so long. This is the Milani Powder Blush in Tea Rose. It is a very beautiful blush. I really like it. It's super pretty, and I'm hoping to get some more use out of this, but again, I'm going to use it when I'm feeling like using it and not forcing myself to use it. Then I have this Kokie Professionals Blush Up palette. I love this blush. However, this one does not show up on me at all. These two are beautiful though, and I like to mix them together. And maybe I'll try and mix like the darker pink and the lighter pink just to see if I can kind of subdue this one. But if you're looking for a very pink blush, get this one by Kokie Professionals. Also, the packaging is adorable. This is called the Pinkin Blush Palette. Okay, so my camera died, so I can't quite remember where I left off, but we're gonna dive right into this and hopefully I get all of the blushes in. We will see when I go to edit. The next one is the Medusa's Makeup Blush in Georgia Peach, and I have to be careful because I broke the packaging because I've dropped it so many times, but this blush is just so pretty. It is a pinky blush. I have it swatched right here for you guys. It is beautiful. I love this blush, and they have so many more beautiful blushes on their website that I want to try. Then we have this one right here. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Ombre Blush. This is a very purple blush. It is a very light wash of color. I have it swatched right here. If you guys can see it, it is just very light. You can build it up on your cheeks if you're wanting it to be really purple, or you can use it as a blush topper, which I think it works beautifully as a blush topper. Then we have this Note Blush in Desert Rose, and this is a very kind of coral blush. It's a very orangey coral, and I really love this blush. I need to use it more. You guys, I have gotten so into blush over the past 2 years I've been doing makeup, and I just want so many more. I keep knocking those down. Then we have this one. This is the Medusa's Makeup Mineral Blush in Laser Beams. This one to me is more of a loose highlighter. Let's see if I can get this off of there. If you guys can see that, it's a very kind of pinky gold shade, And I have that swatched right here. That is that one that's very much a highlighter. I think it can be used as a highlighter or a blush topper, depending on what you're really looking for. Then we have the e.l.f. palette here. This is a 4-pan blush palette, and I love all of the blushes in here. Yes, they look very, very bright. This is the light blush palette. I want the deeper one too, but that's just because I want all the blushes I could find. Guys, I'm into blush. I don't know what my problem is. It's a blush everything. The final blush, and my favorite blush that I love, is from Studio Makeup. We got this in a BoxyCharm, and this is the Luminous Loose Blush. And it is very much kind of like a dusty rose shade of blush, and I have it swatched right here. I know loose blushes scare people. I get it. They can be very wow in your face, just kind of like a loose pigment shadow scares people. But if you use the smallest amount, you're not gonna have like that strip of color on your cheek. You're gonna have a light wash of like a dusty rose, and it is beautiful. Well, as I said before, if you guys would like to see me use any of these products, leave those suggestions down below, and I will do a tutorial using a bunch of different makeup products that I have in my collection. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. It does mean so much to me. I am thankful to each and every one of you who has subscribed. It means so much to me, more than I think you will ever know. So thank you, and bye!